With Sony Pictures' upcoming horror movie Slender Man, there is a lot of anticipation that has built up in many of us. Slender Man was originally created for creepypasta and is considered fictional by Wikipedia and most other sources. But what you might not have known is that Slender Man is also based on a creepy legend from German folklore. Even my German grandparents told me about a tall evil creature which they called der Grossmann. And today I will share this tale with you. Also, please check out the trailer for the upcoming movie in the top right corner. Let's dive in. And please take a second to subscribe to my channel Frostmare and hit the bell notification icon to never miss any of my new creepy uploads. Every generation seems to fear their own urban legends and sinister figures. Slender Man is a pretty young phenomenon. But as I will prove to you guys, the origins lie a couple of 100 years back already, at least. The Slender Man is a creature similar to a human being, but the most obvious difference is that he has extremely large limbs. His seemingly endless arms and legs add to his already terrifying silhouette. It is also said that he can spawn up to 8 tentacles that are situated on his backside, although some photographs and fans do disagree with this fact. But it is widely believed that the creature controls these tentacles by will. Slender Man is known for his black suit and red tie, and as the name already suggests, he has a very thin figure. He is able to stretch all of his limbs and even his body to inhuman lengths and shapes in order to cast dread and terror up on his defenseless victims. Once Slender Man is able to stretch his limbs out, he puts his prey in a state of paralysis and hypnosis at first, which then results in the victim walking right into his arms. He can also create tendrils that seem to come right out of his fingertips. The creature is said to mostly appear in places that we visit pretty rarely: abandoned facilities, buildings, hallways, and even in wooded areas can this creature be spotted. Some documents state that Slender Man was also seen on playgrounds. He is spoken of as a suburban ghoul and has become the object of controversy due to a case that took place in Wisconsin, during which 2 teenage girls attacked one of their classmates. They said they did it because they wanted to appease Slender Man himself. The Dark Man is also considered as a silent stalker that enjoys hiding in plain sight. Especially wooded areas seem to be his hunting ground of choice, where he can easily blend in amongst the trees and plants. After Slender Man has found his next prey, stories are told that he likes to follow them home. He tries to make contact through the windows of their homes, and once he is successful, he will use a form of hypnosis that will make you exit your house and walk right into his spindly arms. Old American legends state that Slender Man once was a human being himself, who was punished and beaten with a log until he found a sad end constrained to a large log that people had put up for him. Afterwards, he was hung from a tree and his arms and legs were pulled from their sockets. An unsettling story for sure, but when Slender Man has captured you, you will wake to find him standing above you. Some tales state that Slender Man will ask you a question, which of course you will have to answer in order to get out. Should you get the answer right, Slender Man will merely break your arms and legs, and if you are wrong, he will stick his long fingers down your throat and go for your heart. Very creepy, isn't it? But if we take a closer look at the Slender Man phenomenon, we will easily learn that the myth about the creature goes back a lot further than many articles claim. As I have mentioned before in my intro, the Slender Man is also based on a creature from an old Germanic story called der Grossmann, which translates into the tall man. There are several woodcuts dated back to the 16th century that have been found in Germany. They depict a tall, disfigured man with white large spheres which appeared to replace his eyes. It is said that this creature was once a fairy and had his home in the Black Forest, which is close to my hometown, where I was born. Bad children who were sneaking into the woods after sundown were stalked by this terrifying man, and he would not rest until he finally captured them, or the child admitted to their bad behavior in front of their parents. But even then, there is a bone-chilling story that was found in an old journal that had been written down and was dated in 1702. It goes as follows: "My child, my Lars, he's gone. Taken from his bed. The only thing that we could find was a scrap of black clothing that feels like cotton, but it is softer and thicker. My son Lars came into my bedroom yesterday, screaming at the top of his lungs that the Black Angel is waiting for him outside. When I asked him who or what he was talking about, he started to tell me a nonsense fairy story about the Grossmann. He said he went into the groves of our village and found one of our cows hanging from a tree. I thought nothing at first and believed it was just Lars' vivid imagination, but now he is gone. And all that matters is that we will find him, and my family must leave before something terrible will happen to them. I'm so sorry. I should have listened. May God forgive me." Other legends say that children would sight him in the Black Forest days before their disappearance. All that was left behind would be remains of livestock. In a few cases, village inhabitants were found several miles away from their homes up on a tree, bound to several branches. A Romanian folk tale speaks of two twin sisters called Serena and Stella that were led out into the woods one day by their own mother. They could spot the Grossmann close by, waiting for them, dressed as a nobleman. His arms apparently were long and spindly as snakes and sharp as swords. The mother was under the order of the creature the whole time and told her daughter Stella to put a circle in the ground with a stick and to put her sister Serena in the middle of it to act as an offering. But Stella refused and ran back home to hide under her bed. When her father returned home, she told him about the horrifying things that had transpired. The father then ventured into the forest to find the mother of the girls. Stella fell asleep eventually, only to be woken up by a loud knock on the door. She could hear a voice saying, "Open the door, it's your father," but Stella refused. "Open the door, it's your mother," the voice continued. Upon refusing a second time, the door flew open to reveal the eerie sight of her mother holding the heads of Serena and her dad in her hands. Stella started to cry and asked her mother why she would do that. Her mother replied, "Because there is no reward for goodness in this world, nothing but cold steel teeth and scorching fire for all of us, and it's coming for you now." At that moment, the Grossmann slid from the fireplace, clenching Stella in his burning embrace. And that was the end of the story. So if you go to bed tonight, don't forget to lock all of your doors. Do you think this spooky tale could be based on real events? Let me know in the comment section. A big thank you goes out to Gabby, Silverwolf and Blackwell, who won a shoutout on my Wheel of Frosty. I appreciate it, guys. Also a big congrats to Blackwell, who won a Frostmare mug with one of his spins. I also want to thank all of this week's super chatters. You guys are the best. Stay frosty.